In June 1961, Vienna hosted the meeting that set the tone for a dangerous decade. President John F. Kennedy face-to-face with Nikita Khrushchev.
I went to Vienna to meet the leader of the Soviet Union, Mr. Khrushchev. For 2 days, we met in sober, intensive conversation. Mr. Khrushchev and
PEZ was born in Vienna, a local story with global flavor. Just recently landing on American shores, PEZ refused to miss its moment as a gracious candy host, arriving with every intention of making the U.S. feel warmly welcomed. For the summit, the company prepared a small, almost whimsical tribute to America's first family, a PR gesture tied to the city, to the moment, and to the legend in the making.
One of the donkeys was gifted in a press release to JFK during one of his visits to Austria, and then there was a little gift set that went with that with one of the dispensers in there. And for years, nobody knew if that even existed. It was on paper, it was found in the archives here, just a press release, but nobody had seen one. So this is our display that has the press release from the Kennedy visit in 1961 when he went to Austria. It's got publicity photo and then actually a product shot. Democratic donkey, a golden glow dispenser, which doesn't have a character head on it, and a bozo dispenser, along with some refills and an inscribed lid indicating that it's a gift to John F. Kennedy.
Then a twist. A note in presidential files shows the Secret Service instructed the White House to return the gift from Vienna. No reason given, no follow-up explanation. And just like that, the sweetest souvenir from Vienna vanishes from the official story.
So this is one of, not necessarily a new find, but one of the more interesting things for sure, and certainly one of the oldest that we have here on display. It's kind of...
Sean Peterson isn't just the PEZ historian. He's the tireless sleuth of candy culture, chasing whispers of rare dispensers from attic boxes to auction floors, all while finding more breadcrumbs on the trail of PEZ history.
Found somebody at the Kennedy Library that was a PEZ collector, and they dug into their archives to try to determine what happened to the set, where it went, and they were able to come up with a couple of new documents that hadn't been seen before that indicate the set was to be returned to the gifter.
When this was given to JFK, there's also evidence that it was returned. It came with candy, and my understanding is the Secret Service can't accept a food item for the president, and so they sent the whole thing back. We think. We don't know.
To this date, this set has never been found. These other two dispensers do exist, and as of now, there are only 4 of those donkeys known to exist, and they have turned up slowly over the years. The first one was found in Austria. I've got an email from our company in Austria, and they had found one in their archives. Wasn't really sure what it was for, and I recognized it immediately from the press release, and I'm like, wow, you have one of one right now. That is the only one that anybody has ever found.
Hey, welcome to what's probably the world's largest PEZ collection. I'll show you a couple of things. So this case over here is maybe, well, shoot, it's one of the really expensive cases in here. For instance, I've got a donkey that I thought was totally unattainable. It's one of the few that was made for JFK's visit to Austria. PEZ presented him with this Welcome to Austria gift box, and it had this, well, I don't know if it's this one, but there are only 4 or 5 of these known in existence right now. This donkey was for him, Bozo the Clown for one of his kids, and what's called the Golden Glow for another one. Those other 2 dispensers are common enough as vintage, but this donkey, presumably representing the Democratic Party, was lost to time for 40, 50 years, and only a few have surfaced.
Shortly thereafter, a second example came about from a young man that his grandfather had a tie to the PEZ company in the early days when it came to the United States, and it was gifted to him from our former vice president. He couldn't find any information about it. Found them all except this one. What can you tell me about it? And when I opened that email and saw the picture, I was like, wow, you really have something. And I shared what I could with him, and speculated on a value, and the family just they were in disbelief. So they brought it here to be authenticated.
And so when Sean Peterson got a call from somebody from JFK's press secretary's recording studio's son, who says, hey, I've got this dispenser and I know it's pretty rare. Sean, what do I do with it? What's it worth? Sean gave me a call and said, hey, Brian, why don't you come up and take a look at this thing? You know a lot about PEZ. We can look at it together. And so I went with kind of a goal of learning more about it, seeing a piece that has been missing since the 60s.
He's going to sell it, and it ended up paying for, some of his college tuition. Found a private collector. I helped broker the sale with it through somebody that was interested, and they have it to this day.
And I thought maybe there was an opportunity for me to bring it home with me, and sure enough there was. Luckily I brought some funds to pay for it and convinced the guy while we're sitting there, hey, this is what it's worth, and here's the price guide, and here are some blemishes that detract from the value, but I'm willing to trade it for some cash right now and let you guys take a nice vacation. So that's how that went.
So that's kind of one of the fun things about PEZ is, could there be more? Where is there more? And do you have one? So.
But there's also an elephant that goes with it, and I don't have that elephant. I'm still looking for one.
That's one of those things that I would like to see turn up, somebody digging through belongings, an old attic, an old trunk somewhere, storage unit, and look what I found. How great would that be? But to this day, it's never been found.